DC Black Label has been with us for quite some time, but we have not had a Black Label Aquaman series. And we finally get one from Ram V called Aquaman Andromeda. And here with me to talk about that is my good friend Drew from Comics Elite. How you doing, Drew?
Doing great, Wes. Let's talk some Aquaman. I'm ready for this.
Aquaman's a great character. He's kind of dumped on. Everyone kind of acts like he's the lame-ass Justice League member. I don't agree with that. I think there's some really, really good takes on Aquaman. I didn't know that I wanted a psychological horror Aquaman story, but once I read up on the details of Aquaman Andromeda, I'm actually pretty excited, and I'm glad they're finally giving it the Black Label treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks a lot of fun, and the art by Christian Ward looks very trippy. I love this art style, and if it's a psychological horror story that Ram V's telling, absolutely, yeah, this looks beautiful, very colorful. I am all aboard on this 100%.
So I was a little bit mistaken. It begins in June 7th. Writer Ram V, artist Christian Ward team up for Aquaman Andromeda, the 3-issue miniseries billed as a psychological horror book that puts Arthur Curry Aquaman to the test in the depths of the Pacific Ocean. This feels like it's right in Ram V's wheelhouse. Not only did he have that fantastic Swamp Thing future state, I didn't like the ongoing as much as some other people, but These Savage Shores at Vault Comics have been fantastic. Death of the Star. He had some really, really cool psychological kind of horror type books. And those type of vibes, I think, just fit right in Ram V's wheelhouse. And I do think the format itself is going to fit his writing style better. He definitely knocked it out of the park when he was kind of limited to the amount of real estate he had to tell the story. And I think he's going to be able to get in there, really tackle it, and give people something that they didn't know that they would.
We kind of got it a little bit, a horror story with Aquaman, with Jeff Johns. We told the stuff from the Deep, those guys, but it was only a few issues. And it was kind of horror-centered, but more action. But this looks more horror-centered, so I'm very much looking forward to this. The new world for Aquaman. Ram V is just the guy to do it.
Yeah, Jeff Johns is a great writer, but he's more of a cape guy. Obviously, he can fiddle around in different genres, but Ram V, I think this is more his speed. This is the synopsis we do have for the story itself. Deep in the Pacific Ocean at the furthest possible distance from any land sits Point Nemo, the spaceship graveyard. Since the dawn of the space race, the nations of the world have sent their crafts there on splashdown to sink beneath the silent seas. But there is something else at Point Nemo, a structure never made by human hands, and that structure seems to be waking up. A covert team of scientists, survivalists, and soldiers make up the crew of the experimental submarine Andromeda, a prototype deep-sea exploration vessel powered by a mysterious black hole drive, and they have been chosen to investigate the sunken mystery. But they aren't the only ones in pursuing it. Anything of value beneath the ocean is of value to the master pirate Black Manta, and anything that attracts Black Manta attracts Arthur Curry, his lifelong foe, the Aquaman. But heaven help them all when the doors of the mystery at Point Nemo swing wide open to admit them. So it sounds like there's got some really crazy stuff happening on multiple levels. We got a deep sea exploration. We have Black Manta moving in. You have this mystery of what Point Nemo is. And there's something there that's waking up. What could it possibly be? Obviously, our worst imaginations come to life. It just sounds like it's really, really cool. It's something to do different with the Arthur Curry, with Aquaman, to really explore the character and take advantage of such a cool setting, in comic books, underneath the water where you live. There are only so many characters that can actually do that, Aquaman and Namor being the two that really come to mind, and really finally exploring that and seeing what you can do with it that you haven't really done in comics before. I think it sounds great.
You have different characters with different motivations, what makes it even more fun, too. And I can't wait to see the action sequences with Black Manta and Aquaman. And maybe they have to fight together against this new villain. Yeah, I cannot wait to read this. My face was lighting up when you're reading the synopsis.
You could imagine with the things that they're going to explore here and the art that we have seen, that it's going to be, maybe exploring the deepest, darkest fears and whatnot of Arthur Curry. And I think that's going to be a lot to do with it. Yeah, I think they've got the right creative team. And this is something that they need to do. Black Label can't be Batman Label. You know what I mean? It needs to expand out. We haven't even gotten a Justice League story, shockingly, on Black Label. So I'm glad that we're finally exploring other characters. Now, as far as selling it, obviously you work at a comic shop. It is going to be that prestige plus format where it's a little bit bigger. Obviously, it's more expensive. It seems like Batman fans haven't had a problem kind of jumping in and buying these. Do you think that's going to be a detractor for some of the Aquaman fans?
I need to talk to Ernie about this because, I go to the shop every day. I see the short boxes we have of all the unsold copies of the Harley Quinn Criminal Insanity, the Tom Taylor Hellblazer, just those sizes, it's very unattractive to a lot of longtime readers. But I really hope things start turning and the Aquaman fans do like this, regardless of the size, and want to collect it and want to read it. I can only hope for the best.
Absolutely. And like I said, I think Ram V is just a fantastic creator. He's really one of the stars on the rank. I don't think he's up and coming anymore. I think he's arrived. Unfortunately, he was doing like the Justice League Dark backups, but that should have been its own series, to be honest. This is what Ram V had to say about Aquaman Andromeda. I went back and looked at everything to make sure that we were presenting a concept and an idea that genuinely felt fresh and new. Obviously, there have been a lot of great stories. Generally, the Aquaman stuff has tended to veer towards sorts of this magic and fantasy route. I wanted to see if we could drop it into a different genre and make it work. I think of it as a sci-fi horror human character drama set inside a situation that is both literal and metaphoric pressure.
Sold. It sounds fun to me. I mean, and not just the pressure. I mean, depths of the ocean pressure, and pressure on the characters too. I love that right there. I can't wait. He sold me on that. It's a whole new realm for Arthur Curry, and Ron V. He has sold me. His work more often than not, it's going to be phenomenal, and I have all the faith in the world in this series.
There have been some really good runs on Aquaman lately. The one that comes to mind, I think probably everybody's mind, is Jeff Johns' Aquaman during New 52. But Dan Abnett had a really, really strong run at DC Rebirth. We haven't had a whole lot of good Aquaman lately, in my opinion. And I'm personally not sold on Aquaman. So I'm glad that they're taking a writer. This isn't, like an unknown quantity. We know who Ram V is. We've seen them have success with characters, and giving him a run at Aquaman to do something different and show a different side of the character and to really use the setting. I think it's brilliant. I hope DC continues on this. Me personally, I haven't been excited about a lot of what DC's been announcing lately. So if they could do some things like this and really, challenge the characters and see where they can take them, I think it's a good way to go, because I hate to say it, it's not a Batman video, but I'm tired of Batman.
Taking on a character like this shows the strength of a writer. If the writer is able to knock it out of the park with an Aquaman, you can tell they have talent. He'll be up there with Peter David. He'll be up there with Jeff Johns, guys who did it in the past, knocked it out of the park, and have cemented their legacies. I really think if this does, it's only 3 issues, which is unfortunate. If he does well with this, it really should cement himself as a solid, dependable writer who can really write anything.
I do think Aquaman kind of lends himself as a character to do some strange things, but just from what I've seen, this does look like the weirdest take on Aquaman ever, though. So I think that's good.
Yeah, I'm all for it too. It looks fun, and it's Arthur Curry. It's not the Aquaman. Don't have that stuff going on. He's in his own. Yeah, it's just him.
Yeah, so I think this is a good idea. I hope people check it out. So that's your details. June 7th, Aquaman Andromeda coming out. Ram V, Christian Ward. Going to be DC Black Label, an R-rated, kind of strange, trippy take on the Aquaman character. We're definitely going to explore some sides of the character and possibly some new aspects of the ocean floor and some new settings that we haven't seen before. Definitely want to say thanks to Drew, and I really appreciate your time.
No problem.
Not too long ago, my good friend Perch and I talked about the 6 up-and-coming comic book writers that you need to know about. Ram V was one of them. Philip Kennedy Johnson's one of them. Some of these guys are really starting to make their name at DC, at Marvel. If you haven't checked this video out, check it out if you're looking for the next real great wave of writers that are really coming into their own right now.